Hello and welcome to day 107 in this quest for a 2000 rapid chess rating on chess.com. So let's find an opponent and begin. All right. So they play d5. So here I'll play they play d4 and I'll play d5. That is an interesting move. Okay, well, we'll just attack their bishop, see what they do next. And now, should we? Well, we'll just play that, see what they decide to do next. All right, so now, let's see. We'll just play that, see how they respond. If they capture, well then, that helps us lock down this square. All right, now, all right, well, question is, we'll just go there, make a triangle set up. Okay, so now we'll go there, block out that, and then let's see. Guess we might as well castle. All right, well, we'll just develop that. Okay. And then, should we push forward here? Maybe we could do that. Gain some space for our bishop here. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, now we can attack his bishop. All right, well, might as well snatch up the bishop pair like this. And then we can go after his bishop and put our knight in here. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right, now that kind of leaves us lined up here on this backward pawn. Okay. Now, should we jump in here? Well, we might as well. We'll just jump in there. Now we can attack his queen like that. And then well, we could just move forward here. Issue might be if he decides to try and jump in here, here, and here. All right, we'll just do that. Gain some space. And then the decision will have to be made, on what we want to do with our king. Well, probably should go ahead and castle. All right, so do I let him push forward here? Could just go here. If I ignore him and he pushes here, if he captures, let's see. Well, I might as well castle. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll just castle. And then the question is, okay, so now he's thinking about going there. All right. Well, I need to bring a rook over. Unfortunately, I may have to bring the other rook. Let's see. All right, guess I got to bring this rook over. So that is the way we have to move forward here. Because this rook is protecting this pawn, of course. The decision I have to make is, do I want to move over here? All right, I'll just do that. See what they decide to do next. All right. Now, could just move forward, gain more space, kind of keep this king blocked out, or knight blocked out, sorry. So now the problem is that he may go here. All right, let's just go there. We'll keep the knight out. Then we can maybe bring our king up. Get our king up further into the game here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. All right, so do we exchange off now? That's the question. Or do we keep the queens on the board? I'm going to say we keep the pressure on this backwards pawn by bringing our rook up here. All right. So now, do we press forward here? Do we press forward? That is the question. All right, so we still have 11 minutes and we're down into the end game, so we can think a little bit here. Do we push forward here? He could close things up. All right. So this is the question. What to do, how to continue forward here. I'm thinking maybe we go here. If he captures, we capture. We have this open file and we block the movement of this pawn. But if we go here to b5, he could just close this up. Then what do we do? Maybe push this forward. Okay, so if we go here and he pushes forward, okay, I'm going to settle on that right there. Okay, so he goes ahead, blocks things out. Now we could just push right here, but then this pawn could become weak. So we'll just line up here on that. And try and get our king up into the game. He really stops me right there too now. Okay. Well, if I go here and he captures and I capture, do we want to do that? Do we want to break this open? Well, if we go here, if we don't, what could happen? If he pushes forward, we go there, he swings over that way, so we probably don't want to do that. If we go here and he captures towards the center, we capture, he captures. All right, we'll just do that and try and keep pressure on this. All right, all right. Well, what now? Do we move forward? Do we just move up to here to e6? Do we bring our king over to here? And try and get some play up this way. All right, so we have to decide. I mean, the only thing we can do to try and get some kind of counterplay is maybe push this forward. So his king and his rook are stuck protecting this. What can the other rook do? Well, we'll just go there before we burn off too much time. All right, well, now we could go after this. That might work. So we'll go after that. If he tries to bring his rook here, we could go there. Oh, no, he has to guard that. So, now what should we try? Might as well do that. Then just move up here. All right, what should we try next here? Okay, let's think. This got a little bit tricky. So, what can we do here? Our options are to ignore him. Do we press forward here and just attack? Then if he captures, we could capture there. All right, let's think about this. So, if we go this way, our rook is kind of trapped in there. So, do we just attack him? If he captures, we can go here. All right. If we push forward like this, if he captures this way, then we have to capture that way. So if we go here, he's going to have to capture. No, we can't do that. So question is, do I just ignore everything? That is the question. if I go here and he can't capture that way. He's got to capture this way. So if I go there, he's got to capture this way. Then my rook is just kind of trapped in there. So if I capture this way, he could go either way. Do I push this pawn? All right, so we'll go ahead and do that. So now we're threatening to capture there. And all right, well, this way at least we'll succeed in or did I have a better way to do that? All right. Okay. What now? Do I just push forward here? Do I capture? All right, is it going to get tricky here? So, and now I'm burning up a lot of time. So if I go here, he captures, I capture. And probably need to keep these rooks on the board. So all right, what now? What now? Do I capture? Then if he captures, I capture this pawn. Then I can start attacking over here. Or do I push this pawn? Push the pawn forward. I'm going to go that way. All right, then now I'm up a pawn, but he'll be able to get that back, most likely. All right, what now? What now? Do I go after that king. So we just go after the king. Then do we just start pushing forward? Just start pushing the pawn forward. I don't know, it's starting to look maybe drawish here. Do I go after this? Do I cut the king off? Or do I push? If I push, we might as well go after this. And now, can I go after this? We'll go after that. All right, now we can go after that. All right, I should go here, block his king out. Then I can go after this pawn. All right, then I can go there. And then start targeting these. All right, now what do I do here? Go here. And then I have to check him and pull him back. Then I can go there and I'm good. All right. So now, can go here and cut the king off. If he tries to check me, we can just block with our rook and then just start moving these pawns forward. All right. Okay, and then we can slowly just start moving forward. So we'll do that. All right, now we can just push forward again. All right. Well, we'll just keep pushing forward here. All right, what will he do next? So what we want to do is just keep making our way up the board. So, as long as we don't make any dumb blunders, we'll be winning here. All right. Okay, so yeah, now we're pretty much won. We can just trap his rook in. All right, so what do we want to do now? Try and block his rook out. Okay, so now we could just go here, and then his rook is kind of trapped and forced to move up. So we'll do that. We have him boxed in. Now we can just go here and mate him on the next move. All right. Well, interesting endgame play there. Ooh, that was, I don't know, kind of crazy. Let's see what, well, it was strategic. It wasn't a crazy tactical game, but kind of a strategic endgame there. All right, let's do our game review and see here. How did we play? Okay, so I played at 87.8 versus their 80.7. Apparently, I had some kind of big advantage here that I let slip away until the game was even, and then we ended up winning in the end. All right, so they had 3 great moves compared to my 0 great moves. But I played 34 of the best moves versus their 25. And inaccuracies. They had 4, I had 2. Excuse me, they had 4 mistakes, I had 2. They had only 1 miss, I had 2 misses, and they had a blunder. So it looks like they played at an 1800 level versus my 1950 level. And then for the opening, my opponent played 95.8% accuracy versus my 96.8. And then it looks like we both did well in the middle game, 91 for them versus mine 89.9. And then 73.2 for them versus my 85.5. So my end game helped me win that one, I guess. So we'll have to see what this... what happened here, this big dip where it looks like I was winning probably, and then I just misplayed it, I guess. All right, so quick review, and then I'll do analysis afterwards and dig a little bit deeper. All right, so d4, d5, and then they played some unusual bishop move here, which I chased the bishop away. Maybe I should have attacked the bishop again. driving it back. I don't know. I didn't want to push too much with my king side here all at once. So I developed my knight, thinking if they captured my knight, I could have captured with the pawn and locked down this e5 square here. So they attack here, which is a mistake. This leaves them with this backwards pawn, which is kind of a long-term weakness. So their best move would have been just to drop the bishop back here, and then wait to see what I do next. All right, so we captured their bishop, grabbing the bishop pair, and then I jumped my knight up into this e4 square, and apparently that was a mistake. So it looks like what would have been best? Just a castle. Computer just wants me to castle there. And then I guess that leaves my options open. All right. And that would prevent the exchange. I could have kept my bishop pair, so yeah, I guess I should not have initiated all those trades. And now the computer does not like this. Best would have been what? Bring the rook over here immediately. Maybe threatening to jump in here, capture. Trying to trade off rooks. All right, so a great move here, which they just help guard this. And then we have some inaccuracies and a mistake here. So this is where I misplayed this. So let's see. So that was a mistake. And what would have been best? Should I have captured with the pawn? Do I capture with the pawn here? All right, well, we'll look at that in analysis, but it says this was a big mistake, like a game-losing mistake here. So, well, no. It looks like I'm doing all right. Pushing this pawn was a mistake. It would have been better to keep the pawn here, just move my rook up. All right. Okay, so playing the rest of this out, we just start trying to keep our rook active, going after their pawns, blocking their king out of the game. This is a blunder. So, what would have been best here? Because it allows me to grab this. Oh, hold on. All right, hold on. Let me go back a little bit. So after this blunder, the best move instead would have been to immediately go here. All right, so if they go there, what do I need to try to do? Anyway, we'll look at that in analysis. Let me just get through the rest of this. So, and then after this, it was pretty much over. Those pawns just march up the board. Then we trap his king and deliver a mate. Okay, so let's look at some analysis here. back to the beginning. All right, so d4, d5. And now they play bishop to g5. Maybe their hand slipped and they meant to go bishop to f4, because here it looks like f6 is also possible, which may allow you to push in the center here. You know, and if they capture, you can capture and keep a good pawn center. But that's after you have to drive this bishop away. Anyway, h6 looks like that was just as good. So what did we play? We played h6, a book move. What is this opening even called? The Levitsky attack. So let me go back here. So queen's pawn opening, the Levitsky attack. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever played against this. So we just attack. Now here it says they should have gone to f4, but this is also a book move, bishop to h4. And now recommended is c5 for black to keep a slight edge. But this gives the game, or shifts the game back in white's favor. So it looks like we should have attacked their central pawn. All right, so they fortify. We bring our knight up. Looks like we should have gone queen to b6, which I thought about that at some point in the game, threatening to go up here. I figured he could just push this pawn up to b3. So anyway, we continue on. Let's see, bishop to e7. The computer likes that move. White has just a slight edge at this point. So now what? We develop our knight, but it looks like better would have been to castle. And let me go back here. It's saying at this point, when they played knight to e2, looks like it would have been better to bring the other knight here, and then maybe bring this knight up here to f3. All right, anyway, bishop to e7, castle. Our knight develops, although they wanted us to castle immediately. So c3, kind of similar to a London system setup. All right, so we attack this way, although looks like the computer prefers the c-pawn push, but I figured this way I could open up my bishop. It still says e5 is an excellent move, so I don't know. I kind of prefer that because then my bishop is not trapped in here. So capture, capture, and then f4, a mistake. So bishop to c2 would have been better. Just retreating the bishop. Then if you get rid of this knight at some point, you might be able, and this knight, you could try after I castle for a battery of bishop and queen aimed down here. Maybe threatening a checkmate if I try to castle over there. Let's see. Here, castling is recommended. So, yeah, that's probably what we would do, is just go ahead and castle. And then they're showing knight to d2. All right, but in the game, they played this f4 move, a mistake. So now they have this weak pawn here, and we can grab the bishop pair with knight takes d3, but that is only the second best move. So knight at e to g4 is better. We threaten a fork here. So let's take a look at that. Well, first of all, let's see if they retreated back to here. what does it recommend we do? Once again, oh, we already looked at that, didn't we? Okay, so after f4, we capture. Now it's saying that that's best. So queen captures, and then here knight to e4 is what we played, although the computer prefers castling or queen to b6. Threatening to capture here. So, and we line up on the king. All right, so let's take a look at, I don't know, maybe queen to b6 first. See if the computer still thinks that's best, or it's probably saying we should castle. And the computer is really thinking on this one, so we'll give it a moment. Yeah, see, now it doesn't like that because the knight, well, this is protected. Queen could just drop back maybe. Well, then we could just attack. So maybe the queen could go forward. Well, we'd be attacking this as well. So now it's saying to ignore that and just play knight to d2 here. But computer did not like that queen to b6 move after it was made. So prefers just castling. So now the computer says that is best. Then we would have knight to d2, trying to cover this. Now, what? Now queen to b6, adding pressure on that. So queen to b6, and there might be a threat of piling up with the bishop as well. So a4, which gives you the option. If you go here with the bishop, the queen can be attacked. Well, no, because then you could attack there. So just rook to e8 is recommended here. That way you can move this knight if you need to, and if the bishop captures, the rook can recapture. And you're lining up on this pawn, this backwards pawn. All right, back to what happened in the game. So let's see, we'll go back a little bit here. They attacked my knight. I capture the bishop, getting rid of their bishop pair. The queen recaptures. We jump into this outpost here, which the computer did not like. So they capture, getting rid of my bishop pair. Looks like that's best. Queen captures, and now knight to d2 is recommended. Oh yeah, that might be a good move. Knight to d2. Yeah, knight to d2 would probably be better. It activates a knight that's on the back rank. It brings that out, attacking. Then if we protected with our bishop, actually it recommends that we capture right here. So that's interesting. So the recommendation is knight to d2. Black should capture that knight. Queen captures. Then bishop to g4, trying to get a lockdown on this outpost. All right, but we end up fighting for that outpost in the game anyway. So the game continued with knight to d2 here. And then we go here. All right. Well, the recommendation is knight up to d4, attacking our bishop. It looks like would have been better to retreat our knight. But anyway, the bishop to f5 move is still good. So we have a capture, recapture attacking the queen. So the queen moves forward, attacking this pawn. And now f5 is played, which the computer prefers immediate castling. So this pawn moves forward, I guess preventing us from pushing the pawn and attacking the queen. Castle, which is best. And now knight to g3 attacking here. So rook at f to e8 is the best move, and we found that. So they found the best move as well. And now let's see. It didn't like that move as much. Yeah. I see. That would have been a better move, because then our rook could capture and chase the queen, and we could keep the queen on the board. Yeah, that would have been a better move. Move over. Then if the rook or the knight captures our bishop, our rook could recapture, attacking the queen, and it leaves us with another attacking piece. You know, we don't just trade off too much material, which we probably did in the game. So they push forward, and now what? We do likewise over here, but once again it wanted us to move that queen over, which is smart. So king comes up, our king comes up, finally they capture, queen captures, and here h3 is recommended, or queen captures. So they capture. Now the computer's saying that's best. Capturing with the rook is best. Whoa, now it changed its mind. Now computer says that it would have been better to capture here and have this open file. But it still says this is excellent. So I don't know, if we captured that way, then his rook moves in there. I mean, obviously we could move our rook over here as well and fight for control. But they could try and push forward here, doubling up. So I don't know, it's kind of tricky. All right, so in the game we capture with the rook. They move the rook to c1, but the computer prefers this move, kind of locking my pawns here. And that could leave, you know, if the rooks were traded off, the king could potentially move down here and just march down and try and go after this pawn in the end game. All right, so what happened next? They recommend a5, and then I should play, what, g5 here? Try to get some play, or rook at a to e8, just pile up here. All right. Or king up to f6. All right. Anyway, in the game, we had rook at a, or let's go back here. So capture, capture, rook moves over to c1. And now what? Now what? We push forward here. Computer did not like that, saying that's an inaccuracy. that it would have been better to play b6. So let's take a look at that. If we played b6, well then what? b6. Now it's saying rook at e to d1. Maybe try and swoop in here and put pressure on this rook. All right. In the game, we had rook at a to c1. I pushed my pawn forward. I don't know what I was thinking here. I guess I thought it would force this pawn to make a decision. If he pushed this way, though, I mean, I guess I could have just captured, although it might open this file up a little bit. All right, so in the game, b5 was played. Then they close it up here, but it looks like rook to a1 would have been better. Rook to a1. And if they played that, then what should we try? Well, rook at a to e8, like that. And then capture, capture, and the rook would infiltrate in with check. So something like this. Capture. Then if we had a check, or they could just play g3 or h3. But if they move in here, then what do we do? King up to f6. King up to f6. So the recommendation is just to move up there. All right, so in the game, I push, they close up the queen side. Now I move here to double my rooks, but it looks like it would have been better just to push this pawn here. So why would that be good? If I push that pawn, do they want to capture? But then I could just move over here and take it back, and then he'll be left with this really isolated pawn. And I can bring maybe both of my rooks to line up on it. Saying rook at e to d1. So this is the recommendation. And now rook to c8 or c4. So if we do that, now they could play h4. I don't know, maybe I could go here. If they capture, I capture, the rook captures, my other rook captures here. They would be able to check me though and cause some problems. All right, so we'll head back to the game. We ended up with this type of position. I stop any counterplay over here. The king moves forward, which is a mistake. Rook at c to d1 is what the computer wanted. So an immediate rook moving here, maybe to threaten to jump down here, which is what happened later. And now it's saying I should play king to e7. Maybe because then I try and get over here and get something going. Or an immediate rook to c4. All right, so We played that. That's a missed opportunity. C5 immediately would have been better. So if we play that, their best option is rook to b1. Then we should play rook to c4, rook to b3, and rook at e to e4. So something like that. And then rook at e to b1. So just double the rooks up here. And then finally, we would go ahead and capture. And then, what do we have next? C takes. King up to e6 now. So our king would move up to e6. Can we keep the pressure on this so these rooks are tied up? Now what? G3, D4 looks like is the top recommendation. So D4, capture, king up to D5. So our king kind of makes its way up. And then rook to D3. Rook to D3. Now the recommendation is bringing this rook up to the 7th rank. And what then? Rook at B to D1. Anyway, tricky stuff. Rook endgames can be tricky. So back to the game. We move up, start bringing my rooks, into this area. Let's see, how good of a plan it was. So that is an inaccuracy. Rook over to b1 would have been better. And that would have made a pretty big difference, a half a point difference if they played rook to b1. So if they played rook to b1, then we should just bring our king up into the game, it looks like. So just bring our king forward. But in the game after rook to c1, I played king to e6, which was not best. It looks like the best move would be c5. And then they should go rook to b1. So rook to b1. Then we capture. They capture. We capture. 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 Then they capture. And now rook to a4. So rook to d7 check. King moves up to e6. g7, f6. Rook to b7. We capture, and now we have these two passed pawns, which are pretty strong. Check. King to f7. And king up to e2. Anyway, the game could have gone in that direction. Instead, we have this position right here. they play rook to d4, a mistake. Better would have been what, king up here. You know, and then what does it recommend? King to e7, f6, or king to f, just move my king back. All right, well, we did not play that. So after they played this, the best move is c5. Is that what we played? Yes, so we found the best move. They should capture with the pawn, but they didn't do that. So if they capture with the pawn, then best is for us to go ahead and capture with the rook. So if we do that, now king to e2. King to e2. King to d6. King to d2. And now the computer wants me to go here as well. All right, so after this mistake, it looks like best is capturing with the rook. So we found that move as well. Then pawn captures, rook captures, and king up to e2. Here we played b4. But it looks like better would be rook up to c4. So if we go here, oh man, I guess the threat now is to just pick this off. To go here and pick that off. All right. All right, so king to d1 is recommended. And then what? Then rook to a4. So that was the plan. That no matter what they do, I don't know, maybe they try to go forward here. And then it looks like our best option is to just go after this pawn. Then rook where? To f1. King to c2, rook to h1, but that would be the plan to get rid of this. Okay, but in the game we played b4. You know, and now we're just helping them by giving up. Well, they can't take because then we capture. So king moves forward, but a better opportunity, it appears, would have been to move the rook to b1. So rook to b1. Oh, because now the possibility exists for them to move in here, which, you know, that happened later in the game. So here, capture, check, king to f7. King has to go to d1 to stop this pawn. Then what? c2 check. Looks like that might be best. Although it says, you know, why do that? Maybe we should immediately capture here. So if we do that, we save this pawn. Rook to b7 check. Anyway, the game is still kind of close here. You know, in these rook endgames, you can be behind a little bit and still, you know, hold a draw. But I don't know, it'll be a little tough. This pawn's kind of weak. Anyway, it's kind of interesting. So let's see what happened in the game. After king to d3, we capture, pick that off, check, We save the pawn, and rook comes back. Now we check. So moving forward, we just start pushing the passed pawn. And we pick this off. It liked a check better. All right, so now we've managed to grab a pawn. We cut the king off, so the computer says that's the best move, to cut that king off. But it looks like, the game is still maybe drawable for white. So that's the best move. Now we go after this pawn. Check. King to f8 is the top recommendation, but now it's saying this is better. So here they make a blunder. So the best move would have been to immediately, and it looks like there's only one move, rook to a8. And now if we pick this off, king moves over to here. Rook to b4. So this is kind of what happened in the game. King to f6. Now we have to go here, or maybe king to h7. But this move, what should the king do? If the king goes here, king up to h7 is best. All right. Let me go back. But anyway, you're trying to stop a possible checkmate here with rook to a8. So in the game, they blundered by moving away. Now my rook is just doing a good job of holding that king off here. So let me go back here. So the king moves up the board. We pick that off. He goes here. We pick off the other one. And now we're able to have time to swing back over here because this rook cannot move here and threaten a mate. Well, checkmate right now. If the rook was here, there'd be a mate right here. So now he's threatening mate. So even rook to a6 would be losing. So it's, pretty much a lost game now. So the game continued like this. We're able to block, and then we just start pushing forward here. And these pawns and rook are unstoppable here. Oh yeah, it looks like it would have been better for me to immediately block him out. Because now he can escape towards the center and the game could have gone on longer. So it would have been better to go here. His only move, well, he could still escape out that way. So anyway, we go here. This at least keeps him on these, these two ranks here. All right, so now we finally, so he needed to go towards the center of the board, but it doesn't matter. The pawns could march up and we could get a queen, or we could just trap him with our king and our rook, which is what happened in the game. So, it just continues like this with the mate. All right, well, there you have it. Kind of a strategical end game, I guess, instead of crazy tactics. So please like and subscribe for those that haven't already. Feel free to leave comments with anything you feel like talking about, and I try to respond to all the comments if I can. So thank you for watching, and have a super chess day.